You are listening to OBC Radio, the #1 online radio, the radio station that gives second chances for the forgotten voices. We are a streaming platform. Artists get your music sell at no charge on obcradio.com. Email is info@obcradio.com. We bring you the latest in world news, sports, weather and entertainment with the latest mix. Tune in with Dr. Gordon and Company, live podcast, I Just Want to Be Free, 10 countdown from music you stream. Chat live with DJ Zeke every Monday, Thursday and Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. On Wednesday, tune in with Didier with his Spanish segment. Live call-in 1-800-944-2166, extension 2. You can download our app OBC Radio from your Play or App Store or ask Alexa to play OBC Radio. Visit us on the World Wide Web, obcradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms, OBC Radio.
Platform dedicated to finding solutions for Jamaica. Today, I'll conclude mining with a saga of how the government won an appeal to overturn a mining injunction by lying to the court. The following clip shows what's at stake for local farmers.
My name is Cyril Anderson. I'm born and grew on this land and have been farming here since 1987. We are in an area and community where employment is only from the soil.
All the farmers here depend on these little lands that line around that have been given to our foreparents from earlier days during Michael Manley for land lease project. And we realize that they narrow the backside company plan now to take it over and mine it.
Mining is expected to begin in the rural farming community of Industry Pen Center. But it's not the only community that will be affected.
When you come mine it out, we don't have nothing to eat. The kids have not nothing to eat. It's a starvation.
I feel sad about it and I beg when them dig this place up. That is the question we ask. What we're going to do? It's not me one. It's a lot of us.
Life with all to take the land from these elders. They probably lost everything because of greed and corruption, and many more of our people are threatened. There should be jail time for those involved in this fraud because the only reason for mining is to generate funds to help run the country. It is not to be bad from the rich. It certainly isn't to make bloody colonizers richer. The dispute began when Noranda was issued permits to expand their operations in February 2022. As previously mentioned, the first step to determine if mining is economically viable is to conduct a cost-benefit analysis. Our NEPA needed to determine two things. One, how much Noranda was expected to contribute to the Treasury, and two, the cost of their activities. For instance, the compensation package for those directly impacted by mining. If the decision makers within their law who are paid by the people and family costs, the permits weren't implemented because they would have found that the cost of the water benefits. I asked NEPA if they conduct cost-benefit analysis, but I'm still waiting for a reply. That is unsurprising. The department falls under the remit of the PM, so expecting transparency and competence is like expecting Jamaica to win the FIFA World Cup without conceding a goal. NEPA didn't do their job, and this resulted in the locals taking legal action. In defense, the government claimed that if Noranda was not permitted to expand their operations, Jamaica would suffer economic loss and taxes imposed. What absolute bloody crap. None of the companies pay the bauxite levy, and the country is surviving without it, so this is a blatant lie. The Noranda manager, Delroy Dell, is on the record stating that mining contributes over $500 million US annually into the economy. So to defend this position of financial importance, you would have expected him to submit how much his company contributed in the past. For instance, in 2020, we contributed $200 million US into the Treasury. But Mr. Dell couldn't do that because the company is a parasite. so projections were submitted. Noranda isn't a bloody startup. It has been operating for decades, so why wasn't a demand made by the judges or the prosecution for the company to produce evidence of its past contributions? The local RAD picked its side and did not ask for any evidence of the wild claims that were made. However, the legal action created a monumental problem for Noranda and the government because they had to provide a projection for the then current fiscal year 2022-23. A number can be plucked out the air for payments in years to come, but the current year is different. This is an expected payment to be made in a few months. Along with that, Noranda didn't plan to mine in the contested area during this period, so the payment will be derived from its ongoing operations and thus pay nothing. And remember, Noranda was not required to pay the levy, therefore the actual projection was nil. And the company that is not paying tax cannot have a defense based on its contribution to the Treasury. So their position was actually untenable. Therefore, a projection had to be created, and that amount was 24.5 million US, which is around 3.7 billion Jamaican dollars. Here are the projected levies submitted by the government and Noranda to the court. The figures are for the entire industry, and if you recall, only Windalco is required to pay the levy. They claimed that the Treasury would receive 4.9 billion Jamaican dollars by the 31st of March 2023, and 3.7 billion of that would be from Noranda. The remaining 1.2 billion would be from Windalco. The information in this Ministry of Finance table was submitted to Parliament in January 2023. As you can see, the projection is $1.2 billion, which is a Windalco payment. Therefore, in January, the expected levy from Noranda was nil. That is indisputable. It is there in black and white in January. However, the government and Noranda submitted their appeal in January, still maintaining that the Treasury will receive 24.5 million US, and defended that position in the March hearing. They knew that the levy payment was zero, but submitted an appeal, and adding insult to injury, they won. Corruption is at the heart of the Holness administration. Tabling of the recent budget further exposed the deception. The bottom section is from the 2024-25 fiscal policy paper presented in mid-February 2024, and it clearly shows that all the bauxite levy projections were inflated. The provisional amount for 2022-23 is 1.3 billion, not 4.9 billion. The estimate for 23-24 is 1.3 billion, not 8 billion. The projection for 24-25 is 0.9 billion, not 5.6 billion. And the projection for 25-26 is nothing, absolutely nothing, not 5.8 billion. But the following month, in March, the government and Noranda defended the position that a total of 160 million US would be paid over 4 years, when the real estimate was around 23 million US if we blasted lucky. Mining should be immediately halted whilst an investigation is conducted. And because Jamaica is a banana republic, devoid of journalists, they escape scrutiny.
I want it to be absolutely clear to the Jamaican citizens that this government is the government of the environment. So we are not the government that will trade off economic benefit for environmental costs. That is not this government. So yes, we hear the complaints. Yes, we hear all that is happening on social media and what is being said. But I want to reassure the Jamaican people that this government will be responsible with our environment, because already we are seeing the effects of climate change.
We got to it. I contacted Malta, the public defender, and the integrity commissioner, amongst many others, to shock horror, nothing had been done. As I mentioned in the previous videos, we need to organise a national day protest on May 10th. However, the destruction is ongoing, so immediate action is needed. You can help by signing and circulating the petition in the description. It needs to go viral to get international attention. But getting rid of the JLPNP is of the highest priority. Just listen to what he thinks he can get away with. It is bloody embarrassing. Enough is enough. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights informed his government that allowing Rwanda to mine would violate the human rights of the locals. But the Commission would not only ignore Fossil's work submitted to the courts to overturn an injunction and destroy the lives of the people for the benefit of foreigners. These parliamentarians do not work for the people. They are traitors. I strongly believe that neither party can be voted for, but we are allowing this mob to write a new constitution, a constitution that will empower themselves. A real constitution will protect our resources, not give them to the colonizers. It is time for real change. Not voting is not working, so constituencies must put forward suitable candidates. Let us know your ideas. Many of us, myself included, have an aversion to politics, but not being involved has resulted in what we see today. Some parliamentarians roll out crooked, and there is a rent-free gated community that should house them, so let's get them locked up. The fact is, we desperately need change in Jamaica, but good people are invariably not interested in power, so the vacuum is filled by the nefarious. So actually, I'm considering now running as an independent in the next election. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.